You gotta take a look at this. Starting off with the Mona Lisa image, we have this animation, and by combining the two, we were able to prompt the API here on this Hugging Face Spaces app and get this video. What's up guys, and welcome to another video where we cover the new AI, LLM and TTS technology that was released in the past week. This week had insane advancements in this space. We have Meta that released their seamless experience for expressions. We have ByteDance, which is the parent company of TikTok, that released something really dope that I'm going to show you. And we also have Stable Diffusion XL that generates images as you enter the prompt. All of this is going to be in the video today, so without further ado, let's begin. Hi. As always, we're going to go to the Hugging Face Spaces hub, where we can see all the trending stuff and all the various other spaces. But let's start with the MagicAnimate, because this one is really insane. Just take a look at this. We have a photo of Mona Lisa, and we have this running animation going on. And by prompting the hub here, you can see that we get this result. So you can see that it basically took the Mona Lisa image, it tried to retain whatever it was able to from the image, which it's actually done quite a good job at, and then it just made it perform the animation, right? So we can see the same characteristics being implemented. There are also a various of other examples here, so we can see this going on, this kind of dance thing I suppose, which kind of matches the TikTok vibe. You can also see the same animation from the animation section being implemented on the image. This one turned out a bit worse, but you can see that this image was actually generated by an AI and then turned into an actual animated GIF of some girl running around, which is actually kind of insane, my point. The actual paper is also available, and we can also see the code itself. Let me know in the comments if you want me to perform some kind of a guide on how to install and run this locally. I think this will be really dope. But that's enough on the MagicAnimate. I'll leave a link for this below so you can check it out as well. Next up is the unofficial SDXL Turbo. So Stable Diffusion, which you're already familiar with if you're following this channel, is a very popular option for generating images, and they just released a few weeks ago something called SDXL Turbo, which is an image-to-image or text-to-image generation. So you can either drop an image here and then generate an image based on that, or you can enter a prompt which will generate an image. But the cool thing here is that you can do it as you're writing stuff along, right? So this image was actually generated as I was typing stuff here. So for example, we can go ahead and do the same, right? You can say an astronaut on a horse in Mars, for example, right? So you can see it generated an astronaut. It's gonna take a moment, and then you can see the astronaut on a horse. This is not Mars, but I think you're kind of getting the vibe here. This was all generated without me ever clicking on the generate button. So this is kind of dope. I'll leave a link for that as well in the comments, so you can check it out. As you can see, after clicking on generate, it took a few moments, but we were finally able to get the actual astronaut riding the horse in Mars. This is kind of dope in my opinion. It's also free to use. I already made a video on how to run the Stable Diffusion locally. So moving on to the Seamless Expressive, released by Meta as an open source model that we can use. The basic idea here is that you pass some kind of a video. So let me just go ahead a bit earlier. So you go ahead and pass a video in English, for example, and then you go into the model. You ask it to translate it into another language, and what will happen is basically that it will take the video, try to retain as much as possible from your voice, and then turn it into another language, right? So if we take a look here, we can hear the difference between the two languages, but it keeps the same video as is. So let's take a look.
So glad you are here. I am so happy to see you. Me alegra mucho que estés aquí. Me alegra mucho verte.
Right, so I'm not speaking Spanish, but from what I can tell, this sounds correct. Also, check the translation. The one downside here is that you can't actually animate the way they talk, right? So you don't quite do well on that part. But the upside is that they open sourced it on Hugging Face, so you can paste something like that, for example.
Gavin, the Council of Rick sentences you to the machine.
Right, so some snippet from Rick and Morty, I suppose, and then just try it to translate from English to French, for example. And we can see.
137. Le Conseil d'Eric vous condamne à une machine de dons indicible qui échange vos esprits conscients et inconscients.
Right, so based on the translation only, and given that it takes only the 10 seconds, the first 10 seconds here, I'm gonna say that this actually works properly. The sound of itself sounds kind of bad, like it wasn't really able to retain as much from the voice as we expected. But this is kind of dope because it shows us a path for the future where we will be able to basically just take any voice of anyone, translate it into another language, and then distribute it in the other language, right? So if I'm making a video in English, it can be translated into various other languages such as French, Spanish, German, and whatever else. So this is kind of dope. And yeah, this has been the week on Hugging Face Spaces Up. Let me know what you think about this in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.